I used to wonder how lightning works, but then it struck me. Let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne. With me, my partner, Naldo. How are you, my superhero sidekick?
That was a good one. I like that one. I
Thank
like
you.
I like that. Struck by lightning bolts. I love it. I
Because
love
lightning
it.
strike. Okay,
Gotcha.
perfect. Just
I
wanted to
got
make
I
sure.
got
Just
I
perfect. Good
got
job.
it,
Good
man.
job. You're ready
What is
for it.
happening? What's going on, man?
We are back in
Mm.
action with our superhero landing of our newest episode. What are we watching? What did we watch?
Oh, we're picking the 2021 Minnal Murali. Came out in 2021, and this is our first Indian superhero movie that we've done. We've done covered a lot of other type of Indian films, but this is the first superhero movie that we're covering. So, I was excited to watch it. What about you?
Yeah, I was enticed by the trailer when you sent it. I was like, okay, this is kind of cute and fun and, superhero
Yeah.
origin story. And I don't, it's fun to see other cinema handle superheroes. We have been just beaten over the head with it here in the States for 20 years or more. And
Yeah.
it's to see a perspective outside of what America thinks a superhero is. This was great. I
Yeah.
I loved a lot about this film. Let's get into it. What did you like about this one?
I like the origin story of how they came to be. I mean, the lightning strike, I get it, very simplistic, but I like how it hit these two different characters, right? The one thing that I had a problem with, and if we'll just get into it, was all the love triangle in this involved in this about
Hmm.
the guy cheating and then the girl getting married, the guy wanting to be with this girl. There's just so much of that. Like I feel like that part could have just been left out and we just focus on these two guys and
Mhm.
some of their story. But I really like that aspect of how like lightning struck them and they didn't, it's just kind of like, Spider-Man getting bitten by a Spider-Man, not knowing what to do and then figuring it out. So I really like that. Very simplistic, but it was good.
Yeah, it was fun to see two people, like you said, two people get the exact same
Yeah.
powers ultimately and then diverge in two different directions. I liked
Yeah.
the antagonist a lot too. Like the guy they picked to be the bad guy, like I was in it. His story is dark.
Yeah. So I kind of had an inclination that he was going to be the bad guy, even though you didn't really know at first, like who he
Hmm.
was. I feel like at first I just had no idea who this guy was. He was just there, but he got struck by lightning. But something was off with him. So you
Hmm.
kind of could tell, okay, this guy's probably going to be the villain. So I like that. Yeah, he was good. I like the story, very dark. And for some reason, it always has to do with a villain and a woman and trying to make her fall in love with you. For some reason, villains just need this woman to fall in love with him, and we kind of get this story, and it works.
Yeah, it does work. And you for I love villain stories where you understand their motive. You know what I mean?
Right.
He obviously went crazy at the end, and becomes, a big time villain and starts murdering people left and right. But I appreciate what they gave him for a story to push him over the edge because
Yeah.
a lot of times I think it's very easy. Like initially when you just start doing bad stuff, I thought it was like, well, this is kind of a weak, plot. But then
Yeah.
he falls in love and he loses the love and like spoilers, but
Yeah.
it really took me. I liked the second half of the movie a lot better than the first half because I think to your point, the first half was a lot of this love triangle stuff back and forth,
Yeah.
and
It just wasn't needed.
his introduction wasn't very great because you're just like, wait, who's this guy that got struck by lightning? What does he have to do with the story? And
Yeah.
then it really starts to, the paths start to come together, and they do a really good job wrapping it up. And I loved the ending.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Jason, right? Our main good
Mhm.
guy. I mean, he was good. Again, the story in the beginning, it was just a lot of fluff, and it just wasn't. It was just needed. I like him. I mean, at first, I was like thinking, oh, it kind of looks like a Superman type of dude. But I feel like his character needed to be more developed. The suit, we don't get the suit to the end, which okay, I get it, right? Hopefully, there's a number two. But I really wanted the suit. I wanted to see him more in the suit. We just get him in the suit the last 7 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, for a superhero movie, despite it being an origin story, you don't get a
Yeah,
lot of the superhero, which is
yeah.
says a lot for a movie that's 2 hours and 40 minutes. So,
That's what I'm
uh,
saying. Yeah.
my other gripe is that like if you're gonna make it 240, there's got to be a really good reason. Like there should have been a middle, action sequence with something else. You just don't get a lot of that until the end, and so
Yeah.
yeah, you don't really understand Jason's motives necessarily. Or I guess he doesn't really have them. He just got struck by lightning. He happens to have powers now, and so he decides to stay instead of going to
Yeah.
America to be a model, fashion in the fashion
I
industry. He's a
I don't
tailor,
know,
right?
but
He knows fashion, and he
yeah,
was going to
he's
go
a
to America
tailor.
to.
I want to know why, and I'm going to ask people, and this is, I don't mean any offense in this, but for some reason, the last several movies that we've watched, they make the Indian police force look like total idiots. What is up with that? I mean, I get it. In some movies, we got our police academy movies that are stupid, right? But I don't understand why the Indian police force tends to just come out in the last few movies that we've seen, just like idiots and very unlikable. Are they unlikable? I've never been to India, but I can't imagine that they are unlikable. I mean, they're good. They do good, right?
What I noticed about it was it's like it feels like they can just walk around and slap whoever they want. Like you're talking to her, slap. You're doing this, slap. And they
Yeah,
just go around wielding, force and for no real apparent reason. Like I know we have our issues with police here and using excessive force, but like it just
sure.
it's how it's portrayed in these movies that we've been watching where yeah, it's just very much these bumbling people who slap people upside the head and usually each other. It's the
I
yeah,
don't get it. Somebody explain that to us, please.
it's definitely an interesting thing, and I couldn't explain it. Yeah, we need an
Yeah.
explanation for it.
I get it. But to your point, I did like the second half better, especially the part where Shibu is his name,
Mhm.
the villain. He finally confesses to his love of his life that he wants to be with her, that
Mhm.
without telling her that he murdered her dad or anything like that. She goes, "I want to be with you," and then the mob comes after him and they murder. They actually kill her because they set fire to the house and the house explodes with her daughter in it. By the way, and my mind thinking is like, man, your desire to want to be with this lady just killed her and her daughter. Now you're pissed. You got nothing to lose. All hell is gonna break loose, and it
Yeah,
did in
yeah,
the carnival, which very dark, very dark.
yeah. I almost didn't like that they killed the woman and the daughter. I know that that's like the catalyst for him going super rogue and just wanting to destroy everybody, but it's like damn, the daughter too, like savage. Like
Yeah,
it was pretty hardcore, but yeah, to confess, and then he's like, yeah, I do want to be with you, as he knows a mob is coming to get him for killing somebody. You're like, oh, okay.
yeah.
um
I thought maybe he probably thought he could take the mob on, and he probably could, but he didn't. He turned around. I didn't realize there was fireworks in there.
was that
Right?
what
Was
that
it
was?
fireworks?
So
I
I
think
was
so.
wondering what it was because I was like, wait a second, and I know that that's maybe a callback to the beginning because there was the explosion at the performance that
Yeah.
the Jason's dad, does that. But when all of a sudden I saw the fire catching something and there was all of a sudden flames going, I'm like, wait, what is lighting? Is this dynamite just sitting here? Like, I didn't
Dynamite
know.
fire.
I was super confused on that part.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
mean, regardless, they blew her up.
yeah, it's harsh. Anush, poor Anush. I was like, yeah, just too many love triangles in this, but whatever. I'm hoping there's a two. I would like to see part two if there's a two. I'm not sure yet.
And you know why it would be great to have a part two is because now
Yeah,
he's
he's fleshed out.
yeah,
Yeah,
now we
his
can get
character.
a full superhero, and they
Yeah,
can do something with another, bad
yeah,
guy who gets struck by lightning or something
right.
else.
When he came out the mask, I was like, oh, is this COVID mask? I like his costume, but the mask are we doing a COVID mask? So it was weird.
Yeah, it did actually look very much like Cody. Yeah, I was also mad that the bad guy didn't keep wearing his mask. He had
The
that, they had that,
scarecrow mask?
yeah, I loved the
Yeah, that was a
mask.
cool mask.
He looked at it at one point right before the finale where it's like he's like, oh, it's time. And there's like smoke coming out of the mask. And it's like, yeah, he's gonna put it on and
Yeah,
he's just gonna go crazy. And it's like gives that darker element of fear. And he didn't
yeah,
put it on. And I was like, damn it. I
yeah,
wanted to see them battle that way, but
yeah.
not my
He
film.
had
But I
his
did
hood
like the
and
pier. Like the
yeah.
pier setting for,
Mm-hmm.
the fight and the battle. What did
Yeah.
he just lock everybody up and start blowing up
It's yeah.
hells?
Yeah. It's a
Like,
villain.
holy shit.
He's got nothing left. He's got
Dark
nothing left.
villain though, man. This is, it's not your
Yeah.
typical superhero fare.
Shibu. Poor Shibu. Just lost it all. Let's rate. Want to rate?
Let's rate. Let's rate.
Okay.
Maybe
What
some
are we going with?
lightning bolts. You know,
I like it.
our buddy
I like
Minnal's
it.
got.
Yeah, I like it. All right. One lightning bolt being really bad. Five lightning bolts being the best superhero movie, which it isn't, but it was good. I'm going to
Yeah.
let you go first.
All right. I'm gonna go with probably three Minnals.
Hmm.
Three lightning
Yeah.
bolts. I enjoyed it. I think it was too long. I wish that there would have been, I don't know, maybe some musical numbers in it. Like I've gotten so used to them.
Yeah.
Like I
I
feel
know.
like I
Me
need them
too.
now,
Yeah.
especially if they're gonna be if it's a 2 hour and 40 minute movie. I kind of expect it. Like expect that break where
Yeah.
there's a pause in the middle between a really big number, and I just didn't get that. But I loved the ending. Didn't really love the beginning, so it's right in that middle ground. A solid three for me.
All right, all right. I'm right there with you, man. A three for me. I totally forgot there was no musical number. You're nail on the head, man. I would have loved the musical number. It'd been great. Again, like you said, the first half is just a lot of fluff. A lot of these movies tend to have a lot of fluff. If the story isn't very good, it just goes to the wayside. There's this love
Mhm.
triangles. It's just not needed. Give me more of this guy and the villain. Flesh out the story a little bit better. Get rid of the really corny, funny movies or funny lines, and just give me a really good story. But overall, I liked it. I hope there's a two. I would love to see part two. More Minnal Murali, please. Great superhero. I'm gonna go with the three. So three. Three lightning
Solid,
bolts.
solid.
Yeah.
Good direction by Basil Joseph. Look forward to finding some more stuff, and hopefully he's working on a sequel. So
I hope
hopefully this
so.
was
I mean,
popular enough.
2021. So
Yeah, we should be right around the time. I For whatever the budget was, and I couldn't find anything on the budget, but I mean, all in all, like it was done really well. Like it
mm,
didn't look cheesy. It didn't look, poorly done. Like they did some really good set designs and stuff. And so yeah, like let's go. Let's keep the story going. I'm ready for a sequel.
me too. Let's do it.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. I've been your host Gagne. With me, my partner Naldo. We've been FYC Film Review. We'll see you next time.
Have a good everyone. Keep the recommendations coming, please. We really appreciate them. Take care.